good part about getting old and ugly and gray.
What's that?
You don't care what you look like anymore. I really don't. That's one of the most important lessons I've learned from Abe is it's none of my business what other people think of me.
Yes.
It's huge. It's so huge. It's taken my whole life to figure that out.
Love that. I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear it. Yeah, I don't care. I stopped shaving. I don't care anymore. I just whatever.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's actually and it lends to things being better.
Yeah.
I feel like in my mind and in my life. It is like
you're still shaving down below though, right? The Brazilian. What do you appreciate about life, son? You got any of that?
there's a abundance that exists. I've seen it in, like, what I was just talking about to Dad was there's this belief in a abundance in my life that has shown up through when I'm at a place where I see lack, or I'm like, oh man, it's over. It's over, bro. You're a loser.
It's never coming back.
You're done. Yeah. Nobody cares about you anymore.
Life is over.
Yeah.
And we all go through that.
I just went through it in a relationship again. Again. Good.
It's fun.
God.
Yeah, it builds character.
But I got into this space inside of my mind, where it's like an angry raccoon that's trying to claw its way out of a cage. I got into this zone of like all the self-help books I've read and all the wisdom that's been shared with me, from Abe and my dad and others, and getting to a place where it's like, oh man, there's unlimited wealth and abundance on this planet, and we talk about crypto and dollars, and there's no shortage of dollars anymore, that's for sure. There's luckily there is a limited amount of crypto, but that's in its own right an abundant idea that creates a system of trade that holds value. So us just talking about blockchain and crypto, we never intended that to be the show. We want to continue to expand and get into what we're thinking about. And Dad was just telling me before we had the camera on, I'll turn over to you, Dad. I'll lob you the softball. Like for this show, wanting to share wisdom. That's what it was. It was wanting to share our collective wisdom with each other, and that being okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It really goes back to an appreciation of each other and what we all, our differences. It's so easy in today's world to pick apart each other instead of seeing our similarities, Mm-hmm. And we're all the same. We just are. And we all pretty much want the same things. There's some outliers out there, but basically we all want to be happy and well taken care of. But knowledge comes from experience. It really doesn't come from words. I mean, it's really hard for it to come from words. Mm-hmm. But
you've got to feel it and identify it yourself when it comes from words.
Everything comes from emotion.
Mm-hmm.
If your emotion is positive about something, it just thrives in your life, and you can just build on it, and you just want to get up in the morning and do more of that. That made me happy. I want to do more of those things in my life. And knowledge is one of those things that gets a little bit overlooked, because a lot of book knowledge is like not applicable anymore. You know, it's like, well, that's not really what makes me happy, is knowledge. What makes me happy is life experience and appreciation of it.
If you can take it upon yourself to appreciate your past to a point where you don't have to sit there and dwell on it and say, oh man, what have I done? Don't hold those thoughts. And I only advise that and say that because I have. And
We've all done that.
And it doesn't honor anybody, especially yourself.
There's no value in it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And
I
like what you were just saying about knowledge, because I'm really getting into reading again and this book thing, and I've been talking to Dad about making a whole another channel just about book reviews and getting into that, and but I think his point is sound. I'm looking for the feelings inside of myself that the book, just like when you go see a movie, you know, and the one that I'll never forget, the ending of being in the movie theater as a kid watching U571 and just being like edge of my seat, like that feeling of like, wow, like I feel like I'm in the battle. I feel like I'm like a flashback, like I can only imagine what the poor veterans felt like in that moment, because this is just so real. And looking for the things and looking for the books and anything out of life that makes you feel that way. As much as I want to be this, you know, I got this big idea of the book review channel. I'm very choosy about what I choose to read. And how I choose to feel, because I do want to feel a certain way, and I want to be joyful, and I want to get excited about things, and I want to have a smile on my face and be good to the people in my life. Like I was joking around earlier, but I read a ton of self-help books. I read a ton of spiritual books. I read a ton of financial books. You know, trying to build more of those. Habits is one way to put it, but daily reminders. It's like in the present, thinking about my future positively. That's like, oh man, okay, the market went down today. Oh no, I've seen this before. It's going to be 3 years of, solitude and despair. No, like
That's
not.
Today.
It's today.
It's not tomorrow.
And what's your outlook going forward? And toss it back to you, Dad. What do you want? What do you want?
Yeah.
How do you want tomorrow to be?
Exactly. And that's, you're never too old, to learn new lessons in life. And my big one lately that I've really been trying to focus on is I like to focus on things that I want to occur. And not the things that in my past that didn't go so well, maybe in my life. Why waste my today on yesterday's issues? There's really little to be gained from that. I know there's a bunch of therapy. You got to go back and you got to dig it all up and expose all that stuff and live through it all again to get over it somehow. I don't understand how all that works. It doesn't really seem to work for me personally, but maybe it does for people out there. But focus on what you want to occur. Think about whenever when you have those thoughts and you're like, oh wow, if I had that car or that house or that property or whatever it might be, that bank account, that inside happy feeling that you get is an emotion. And it's a positive emotion. And if you can continually think about those positive emotions and the outcome that you would like to see, you will slowly manifest that in your life more and more and more and more. And so many of us, myself included, and till recently, I focused a lot on all the things I did wrong last week. And it really led to more things going wrong in the upcoming week. And I really turned the corner on that in the last few years of my life. And that's really what I want to share with a lot of people. It's working for me. And I'm happy to share it with everybody. But everybody has to come to it on their own terms. You can't, like we were talking about, you can't just read a self-help book. You've actually got to apply the laws and the rules and the understanding of the book that you've read.
Yeah.
And the application, people think, oh, well, I read 20 of these books and now I've got all that knowledge. The application is the day-to-day work of being optimistic about what's next and seeing hope and seeing the future being better than today. And we talked just the other day about I don't watch too many other YouTube channels anymore because I watch a few, obviously, because I like to stay somewhat informed with crypto and some other things. But I don't watch a lot of them because most of them want to talk about what went wrong yesterday. Or, oh my God, like we were just saying, the market crashed today. That's today. And most people don't understand that today is history. What occurred right now is already history. That can't be changed or altered. Tomorrow is what you can improve. And living in that forward-thinking world is a really good place to live.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Standing there shaking in your boots is accomplishing nothing.
No. It just creates fear and angst.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it does.
Yeah, and then in this business, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And it's such an appropriate acronym for
it is
for where you get with that, and even in really tough times, like I tell myself now, it's like just crawl forward, and then you get to a point where you're like, well, dude, I don't need to crawl. I know how to run. I know how to, I've packed up my car and moved all the way across the country for a job, and I didn't have a job to go to. I literally, it was my dream. It was to make that happen, to get that job. I got it quick. Yeah. When I got into that focus and when I got into that mindset.
Yeah. It's really a matter of, that was what I was talking about earlier, is that emotion. You have that emotion of success, or it's going to work. If you can harness that or capture that emotion that I'm going to be successful at this, might not be today, but I'm going to be successful at it, and you have that inner positive feeling that it's going to all work out well, almost always does.
Yeah.
And the only time that it doesn't is the moment that you stop and you go, well, gosh, I've had this hope for 6 months and it's done nothing. That's usually when nothing occurs.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a coincidence.
No.
It's just not.
No, it's not.
So if you could stay growing forward in the emotion of, the other thing is,
in your own judgment of bad.
Yes.
Bad is
fleeting.
It will fail you.
Yeah.
To view things as bad or as, there's probably some things that we all shouldn't be doing to each other. But even in those circumstances, and even in these times, it's like my whole mindset is like, more than ever, as much as we are all kind of been asked to separate from each other more than we used to, I want to come together more than I've ever used to. A dream of ours was to just spend more time together. Dad moved away. He did the exact same thing I just talked about. He moved to Florida to get a yacht job when I was 12, and he and I have always had this connection. We're sitting here together talking, he just turned 62. I'm about to turn 36. You know, we're sitting here talking to you guys like, you know, on my cell phone. It's you know,
what an awesome world we live
in
in.
a trailer. You know, it's like, man, this is what we wanted. This
Yeah.
is what we've been talking about. Like, we are here
And we're doing it.
in it now, and
Yeah.
I can already tell, like, you know, once we turned on the camera and once we were talking with you guys and each other, it's like, man, the energy.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's ready to just pop. Like, I don't need coffee today. Like, I'm excited for the future all over again. It's recreated itself.
Yeah.
And we're
because we all have so much to share with each other.
yeah.
You know, I really, I was gonna go down this road, but we're on to so many other good things right now. I don't know that I need to interrupt it, but I really think everybody should start a YouTube channel. I know that sounds crazy because we don't need 8 billion of them necessarily, but I think it would work. I mean,
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
And I think you should all try this because we have how many subscribers, Brent?
Woo! At last we looked, it was 99 subscribers.
99.
I think
So
we
you
started.
could be 100.
I think we started in November, something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
You
Sounds
know,
right.
when we started posting,
Yeah.
and so
So-
we did not expect to be here
No, we
with-
appreciate 100.
with the chance to be the chance to be able to share this with 100 and hopefully more, depending on how good our on how our little title and how our little picture shows up on you
Yeah.
know, on the website, you know, or like
It's-
how many people who's interested, who also wants to be a part of a
Yeah.
conversation today. It's one of our favorite things,
Yeah.
and the idea for like a 99 to 100 subscribers was, let's just have a conversation with you guys and let you know who we are.
Yeah.
You know, this is
And it's health, wealth, and happiness, right? Is really what the channel's about.
yeah.
And you know, it's kind of, there's so many channels. You know, when you first get into YouTube, oh, you could have 1,000 subscribers. It's like that to me just seems like not the goal. I was blown away. We did a couple of videos that just took off, and I was shocked.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't.
Shocked.
We didn't. I mean, you don't expect that you're going to touch people's lives the way you can, and that's really why I recommend everybody doing a channel, because you have a lot to offer. Not only do I have a lot to offer, I'd probably like to watch them, and because I do.
Yeah.
I typically, like I mentioned earlier, I like to watch the positive ones, and there's a lot of people that talk a lot of doom and gloom, so you can get that in other channels. You're probably not going to get a lot of that on this channel.
No.
Not that there isn't doom and gloom out there, but again, it doesn't positively vibrate my day, so I don't choose to focus on it too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he and I have gone down the whole, you know, I don't think you can be so involved in money and finance and you know, crypto and blockchain and that kind of a topic, and not be the kind of person that really digs into things and really examines everything. You know, first thing that comes to mind is politics, to everything that affects, everything money affects, and the web of it all, you know, and how do I identify what's going on here? I just want to know. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
You know, it's why I want to do a book channel, so I can read more, because I'm curious, you know. And so with being the kind of people that we are, I'm so thankful, Dad, that we both are this way, that we both want to be positive and bring a positive channel and a bright light to blockchain and cryptocurrency, and we have very high hopes for it. Very high hopes.
Spiritual energy.
We have such high hopes for it all. Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me get to that, or I'll let you get to that.
No, well,
We have such high hopes for Bitcoin and related, you know, cryptos, blockchain that we laugh. Like, we literally laugh with each other, you know? Like, I get to a place in my head where I'm like, I'm trying to find weaknesses and flaws and try to pick it apart, and it's laughable. It's laughable based on, just do your own research and look at Bitcoin's growth, the projected growth over the next 5 years, and just start to think about, wow, like, this is just a great idea. You know, you read the white paper. We're gonna do videos about the white paper because it's brilliant, and it's inspiring, and it's not just inspiring because of, you know, finance. It's inspiring because of what Dad's last video we were talking about is freedom. Yeah. It's about freedom. It's about making a better system so that humanity as a whole can profit together and trade together a little more efficiently. And you save a little bit more of your money, and I save a little bit more of my money. And we come back to that. We come back to creating a community like Dad and I have created with each other. You know, it's like, man, we don't want to just hang out. Like, we actually want to work together, and we want to discuss ideas, and I want to help my dad get his farm fully operational.
It's
booming.
It's just another way for our society to grow and prosper. That's all it is. Yeah. And anybody that tells you that it's anything other than that, well, you might want to question their alternative. What is their angle? You know, the only people that have questioned the validity of Bitcoin are people that have something to lose from it.
Yeah, seems that way.
Yeah, and it just seems obvious to me that, you know, the reason why it's growing is because people aren't getting into it, getting rich overnight, and then not getting back into it. They're staying in it because they like it, because they like where it's going, and they like what it's changing. So that sort of positive, again, emotion about something that can be positive change for all mankind is addictive. And it's not just a scheme or a concept. It has a database behind. We've mentioned so many things that it has behind it, math and technology and whatnot. But we're going to do some fun stuff with the white paper. I'm so glad you brought that up, because it was Brent's idea when we were on my boat, and we were talking about it. He brought the idea up, and it just, wow. We need to really go over that white paper and share what we think of those ideas that were written down. And the person who wrote those down, whoever they were, they had an idea for mankind. That was not a self-serving proposition, that piece of paper that was written. And just read it and you can go, well, that's just unrealistic. That's not going to happen. That's just hopium. You know, there's no way man could do that. It's so pie in the sky, right? But once it's been 13 years down the road and nobody's cracked it, and it's still thriving and growing, God, what we said, we're going to reach 1 billion. What was it? 1 billion wallets? I believe it's 1 billion wallets by 2025.
Dang.
That's close. That's, you know, that's. I think it is sooner than that. But anyway, yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
It's awesome is what it is.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
On the spiritual note, I've seen Dad said it earlier, but I've seen his growth. You know, when you love people, you observe them and you listen to them and you help them and you support them. And when you see, you know, someone grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and expand and listen more and do those things that I was just talking about, you know, to you and to others and to, I've seen my dad do that, he's always been doing it, always been growing and seeking, and I'm the same. I fell off clearly as a kid, I fell off the tree, and I'm trying to do that too, and I'm so thankful right now that we have this channel, and that we do have subscribers, and that we do have the ability to communicate with a lot of people, and a lot of people have been already touched by a few of our videos. It's like they've wanted that content, they wanted to be a part of that conversation, they wanted to get excited about it, they wanted to know about it, and that's certainly, you see that as a creator, and it's like, oh wow, that's cool. Now we're talking about doing more El Salvador videos. We're talking about
El Salvador.
People really reached out to us comment wise on our video about Reggie Middleton and Veritasium.
Yeah.
Very, very thankful that we, like I said in that video, I think it's such a cool, it was one of, I want to say 3 stories that we just told each other at the beginning, where it's like, we have to talk about this. And
there's a theme there. There's a theme there that I've noticed. The reason why, this is my opinion, the reason why those videos blew up is because they were about people.
Yeah.
They weren't just about a token or a company. It was about the El Salvadorian people. It was about Reggie Middleton. It was about how we're all growing and how they're contributing to the changing of all of our lives. And people, we love stories like those. Are my favorite stories. These, the guy that hits the home run in the bottom of the ninth. Those stories are human stories. And that's who we are. People that knew us when we told them we were going to do a YouTube channel, all of them were like, oh, yeah, okay. I mean, that sounds a little crazy to a lot of people, but all to a T, all of them were like, just be yourselves. You guys are so positive. Just be yourself and you'll be fine. You're going to have a great show.
Yeah.
So it's really what we want to promote. We don't even have to promote it. It's just kind of who we are. And
right.
We do.
No promotion needed.
No.
We'll just keep.
We do 30-hour road trips, and we're talking usually good stories the entire way. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
We're having a lot of fun doing this.
We are.
Yeah. And people love the fact that we're father and son, and we are. But we're best friends, and we've really been best friends because we've been apart from each other so much that it wasn't so much of just being like, oh, I have to listen to Dad's boring story all over again. It was like, no, I wanted to listen to my dad's story. I want to hear what my son's life is all about. Mm-hmm. And that's really who we are, because again, it goes back to people. I appreciate all people, not just my son. You know what I mean? He's my friend. I want to hear my friend's stories too.
Yeah, he and I are very different. Everybody's very different, but uniquely similar. And when you open up, and when you're not judgmental, and you want to have fun, and you want to grow, and you want to, and you're in that space, that's when we've had our best conversations. When you're laughing about stuff, and you're like, dude, I know exactly how you feel about that. I know exactly. Yeah. We have one of those every time we talk, And
it's what's really fun is I've always been. I'll never forget this story. This is kind of a negative story, but it's worth telling. A friend of mine in 2018 called me up, and he was laughing about people who owned Bitcoin because it was crashing. And he was laughing because, all those people lost all their money. And I said to him, he didn't know I owned Bitcoin. And I said to him, what's the matter with just being happy for those people that they did well? It's funny. And the phone went really quiet. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, yeah. I was like, don't you want to see the little guy win? I mean, why do you want everybody to lose their money? Why is that? Why does that entertain you? And I love to see my friends thrive and my family members thrive in life. And once you get that ball rolling, do you see the world in a completely different light, which is opportunity. And you see how this can work for that person, the next person, the next person. There's this feeling of like struggle that if I keep my neighbor or my friends down and I make more than they do, I'll be better off than they are. No, it's the exact opposite of that. Yeah. We're going to keep each other afloat and we're going to thrive off each other. So I don't know.
If I find a way to be rich, I think about it all the time. If I ever found a way to be, dollars monetarily yeah. wealthy,
you're already rich.
Yeah, I'm already rich. I'm a very loved person, and that feels good. The first thing that comes to mind is taking care of my family and friends. Is to take whatever that is, I look at it, it's like, oh wow, that can really help my life. Cool. And it's like, spread it out.
Yeah.
Share it.
Yeah.
Give it away now.
Yeah.
And it's a fun thought.
Wealth to me
makes you want to work harder. Makes you want to work smarter.
Wealth really means to me more opportunity and more freedom. And that's what it's always meant to me. But opportunity to make a difference in my friends and family's lives. That's really what it is. Because it goes back to what I just said. Seeing your friends thrive is one of the most rewarding, fulfilling things I've ever experienced. Mm-hmm. If you think that yourself being successful is half as much fun as seeing your best friend or your wife or your son become successful, try it. I guarantee it's better to give than to receive. And you'll see that just grow in your life. And it's always been a theme in my life. I've never really been a greedy person, but it's probably why I don't have a lot.
Yeah.
But I have enough, and I'm happy, and I'm really excited where we're headed. So it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna help a lot of people see the future, and not only crypto, and your spiritual life, and your health, and your wealth, and your happiness, like we talk about in this channel all the time. We're gonna show you how we did it, how we're doing it, and how you're doing it, and we're just gonna remind you to appreciate all the good things in your life instead of simply pointing out of the 10 good things going around right in your life. Instead of focusing on the one bad thing in your life, try and focus on those 10 good things, and your life is all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're going to have the two things I just talked about. You're going to have freedom, and you're going to have financial reward or gain from that.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes from. It's seeing the world as opportunity. Being an entrepreneur in your own mind, and how you can apply that to making... If you can make other people's life better or prosper, that's how everybody prospers in life. Mm-hmm. Henry Ford, he made cars and did quite well, as I recall.
Yeah. Everyone's mind and heart and spirit is the true value. It's the start point and the end point and the true value of the world.
Yep. Really is.
And it starts with you. And it starts with me, and it starts,
Yeah, it's fun.
The personal. Okay, let me share, let me give, let me try, and then you share that momentum gets his momentum going.
Yeah,
and
Yep.
Then he gets me fired up, and then we make a channel, and that's it, Dad. I think we're gonna be the opposite of the news. If you want the news.
Yeah.
Don't click on us, because it's we're looking for real value.
Unless the news is good.
Yeah.
Then we might talk about it.
Then we should.
There is a caveat to that whole angle, and it goes something like this. If you have an inspiration and you have a really good idea I'm going to encourage you maybe to keep it to yourself until you get the ball rolling, until you're sure about that's what you want to do and the way you want to do it. Before you share it with your mom and your dad or your brother, because they're going to tell you 10 reasons why you should never start a YouTube channel. They're going to tell you 10 reasons why they know 15 people that failed at exactly that same idea. But if you have that passion and that drive and that emotion inside of you that you think you can be successful at it, you're probably going to do really well. Mm-hmm. But if you get it going and you get it off the ground before you really let the naysayers, know what you're doing, you'll prove to yourself, and then you'll gain momentum with it. And it works. It works really well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
works like a charm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well said.
We weren't even going to really talk about anything specific. Starting a YouTube channel was really important for us. Really important.
Who do you still watch?
That's a great question.
That's
I still I watch a guy by the name of Bitcoin Ben. Hey Ben.
Hey Ben.
Ben's out there doing his thing. Mm-hmm. And I really there's things I like about Ben. His storytelling skills are off the charts, and for the most part he stays very positive, and I love that about Ben, and I like him a lot.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I do too.
It's sort of like everything in life, it's weird. We think, oh, you're hanging your hat on somebody's channel or somebody's book. That means you completely agree with everything they do. Oh, you're in that category is what we do to each other today. There's a lot of things I like about a lot of different channels, but, I stick with the ones that I like at least 70 to 90% of them.
Yeah.
I don't agree with everything anybody does. My son and we don't agree on everything about this channel.
Nope. No.
We just don't, and we haven't.
No.
And that's good because you're growing. You're not just.
Yeah.
You don't want to just,
Yeah, you don't want to be a clone.
No, a yes man thing. It's just not working.
It's harder to be creative that way. It's like,
is.
Yeah, you can get on a roll together and it's cool, but then you drink too much of your own Kool-Aid, and it's not expanding anymore. It's this one-dimensional thing. And we were just talking about all the videos we have so far as being a base. It's cool that we've touched on a lot of different little things, and the people we really like touch on a lot of different things. And then you can go back. It's not just about the video they made this week, but it's like, oh wow, I found somebody I really like. Like, let me go check out their creative journey and their path, and I've gotten more inspiration from that.
Yeah,
I think than just focusing on channels that are one dimensional or topics that just stay one dimensional.
Yeah,
curious.
I don't know what channels do you like, Brent?
I like.
That's not the only one I watch.
Obviously. The one that that as far as crypto goes, it's certainly been Ben. I've watched the most. I think of him and think very highly of the man, and we're a part of a same community, among other communities that Dad and I choose to be a part of, and we think it's a great one, and it's filled with great people. And it's filled with people just like us, and we love you guys. We miss you, and that group has a really neat meetup and really neat future vision.
It's all positive.
A YouTuber that I love, if you all are looking for a good blockchain crypto person, is Crypto Casey.
She's great.
I got into her.
Yeah.
It was cool to see someone my age, very similar age, and so I clicked on her and I was like, okay, and I've been watching her since her start, and the that's another one. That's why I brought up the point of going back through. If there's somebody that you really like to watch, her videos in the beginning, just discussing about everything about how blockchain works and how it's connected, and her explanations and her editing and her filming and her sound and everything was just tight. It just was a great view. It's like, I think they were only maybe like 15 minutes long, in the beginning or something like that. But it was just like, whoa, like, I gotta watch all these. Nobody has ever explained this to me
Right.
as well as that. And the way that she explained it and videoed it was just incredible.
For anybody new, I really recommend her early stuff.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
And then and she's gone through this incredible transformation of, like, she did a lot of today's topics. Here's my take on today's topics.
Yeah.
And I like that too. And now I've been watching her get into shorts. Let me explain something to you in a minute.
Yeah.
And for her mind to focus on something and give you a minute's worth of material will blow you away. So I'm
incapable of that.
Yeah, right. How long is this now?
That won't be occurring here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll make sure and post both of their links, who we just brought up.
The Coin Bureau.
Coin Bureau.
Amazing info.
Bro.
That guy nails it.
Wow.
That's good stuff.
If you guys are interested at all in crypto, check out Coin Bureau.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Really well written, really well presented. He's got a humor angle to it. It's very informative, just the nuts and bolts, not necessarily his theories or opinions too much, a little bit. In a sarcastic sort of a way. Fun. It's really well done.
Yeah, you can tell he's got a really strong team behind him.
Really good writers.
Yeah.
Research. Yeah.
Incredible. Good call.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of what's it, Friday Night Live, I believe it is, with Divi. Nick does a show.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, don't ask me to pronounce his last name.
I wish there was...
Sapanato or Sampanato.
Yeah, that's close enough.
Something like that. Yeah, Nick of Divi.
Nick
Divi.org.
Yeah, we're huge Divi Project fans. Huge, and
DiviProject.org. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can look him up there.
Yeah, check it out.
He does a Friday night live show, 5 o'clock Pacific time. I don't miss him. I've been watching those for a year. Really, and again, another one of those shows that's just, here's what we're doing, here's what's coming, this is what's great about what's happening. And it's sometimes so hard to get that futuristic, positive view from a lot of these crypto companies. I call them a company, I guess they are. But
kind of like a community too.
Yeah, and a lot of them, they're very close to the vest as what they're going to do next, or they'll say what they're going to do, but they don't talk about their hopes and dreams, on a weekly basis the way that show does. It's really cool content. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
They are going places.
Real quick thing on Divi, look into their master nodes. If you're looking to run a node, Divi's a great place to start and look.
Yes.
And if I had
right now,
I had to look into my own crystal ball and from my own knowledge and my own research, I think they have created and will continue to improve on one of the easiest to use wallets that is in existence. And that idea of doing that, I feel like is just going to advance all of this so much more. When you have, and there are other wallets that are fantastic that I use also, but when you get into staking and when you get into generating your money working for you, and it's easy to use and it's easy to transfer.
They built their entire business model on that. How do I make this so grandma can use it? That's how they built Divi. And it's the easiest node to run and one of the easiest wallets to open. And and now they've had some huge successes. You know, La Liga, the soccer league, is now a Divi, which is 1 billion users right there. I mean, they're going places.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to watch. He said something in the last 2 Fridays ago that I really want to repeat because it tells you who they are. He said, he was asked, why aren't you on Coinbase? And he said, well, because who am I supposed to ask for $100,000 from? And it was, well, what do you mean? He says, well, Coinbase wants $100,000 for to just hand them $100,000 cash just so we can put our Divi on their exchange.
Wow.
A lot of people won't tell you that sort of inside stuff. And then he went on to say, and I'm not trying to throw other YouTubers under the bus here, but he said, essentially nobody talks about Divi on their YouTube channels because the only people that talk about YouTube is the ones that have been paid to talk about them. And he said, so if you hear anything from anybody from Divi, they're not being paid. So it's a way to look at that company, and they're building it from the bottom up with real technology and real staff and they're just crushing it, and they're cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
can get them
front
reasonably priced right now.
Yeah, the way I love these companies, the way they're starting to do it, where we want to build the network first. We want the community first.
Yeah.
And we'll be, working like it'll be like the duck method where you're kicking viciously underwater, calm on the surface, but we're trying to build the best wallets and make the best blockchain that we can possibly make. And it's that duck project. It's like, hey, we're working hard on it and it's coming out. We're gonna keep keep meeting people, and we're gonna keep expanding, and it's been fun to follow this. I'm so glad that my dad introduced me to it, and other YouTubers as well. There are some that are just connected community wise, not necessarily being paid. But are also integrated into it because they've become such big fans, and such big supporters that it's like like Dad and I we're not really affiliated with Divi.
No, I run a Divi node, but
I have a wallet, but we're not, there's no payment for this, for us talking about it. This is simply like what we were talking about earlier. We want to help move good things. Help good energy expand, good projects.
Yeah.
We don't want to see.
It's one of the few projects that I can guarantee you is going to be around in 5 years. No, I can't make the guarantee, but in my own mind, I'm fairly sure that they are not going anywhere but up. And I don't mean necessarily price-wise. They're going to be,
growth.
Yeah. I just heard that they're going to connect. Can't be quoted on this, but they're going to be connected with crypto.com, which you would think would be their competitor. And they're like, no, they're not our competitor. And that's how they see it. They're like, they're not sure, we both do the same thing. We have kind of a same, staking wallet system, but no, we're in this whole business together. Yeah. And that's how they see it. They're not, they're connecting through Ethereum.
That's how we see it too, isn't it?
It is.
We're all in this business together.
Right. Yeah. You're not going to see us trash too many YouTube channels.
No, all positive reviews.
Yeah.
If I ever, get this book channel going, I'm just going to try to give you great reads. I'm going to try to keep that that good energy and those good ideas and those things moving forward.
If you guys haven't seen that book review he did on our channel, you should look it up. It was good. I thought it was great.
Well, that's sweet, Dad. Thanks.
Yeah,
It was
no, I'm
first
serious.
first run, you know.
I thought it was really good.
But yeah, I thought the books were good, you know, and that it was just like wow, and they were specific choices, you know. There's like I want to choose, just like we were talking about Divi and you know Crypto Casey and Ben and people that it's like we want to help lift them up,
Yeah.
you know, we want to give them love and hopefully somebody you know watches this video and they're like wow okay cool I'll check them out. That grows a community.
We've had a lot of spiritual growth, or however you want to look at it, how people call it, different names of different sorts. And we're going to review a lot of that stuff as well. And we're going to talk about where our growth has come from. And I think our very first channel, we talked about Case Parks of Everyday Masters. He's been a big influence in our lives, and we're going to go through all of those kind of different things and what we learned from different people and how we applied it in our life. And if you're into that kind of thing, you know, a lot of those topics will be on this show in the future.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where we're going.
You guys inspired us.
Yeah.
99 subs going to 100 here.
Triple digits.
Triple
It's hard to
digits.
believe. Yeah.
Woo! We're not stopping now. It's like
That's
like,
awesome.
It's like Bitcoin. It's like I don't think we can stop this now. I don't think it's slowing down. This is crazy.
We were like 6 weeks at 10, you know, and I think we knew every one of those people on a first name basis, you know.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, it went to 100. Like what?
Yeah.
That's cool. It's really fun.
It's so fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been a blast doing these videos, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be good. We got a lot of cool stuff planned, and our channel's going to take you in a place that I hope you all get as much out of it as we enjoy giving, because it's life experience that we're sharing with everybody.
Like this video, we're gonna be very honest.
Yeah.
In a good way. The stuff that we want to talk about, and the stuff that we talk about with our friends in conversations. And so what's better than a good conversation?
And down the road, I don't know how long down the road, because you know I pile all this work on him and I make him do it all. But in the future we'll do some live shows and stuff, and we can question in and stuff like that. So that'll be fun too.
Yeah, we'd love to hear more from you guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, right now it's just comments, but you know, hopefully we'll expand on that too.
And he and I have had such diverse lives. We were talking about that yesterday. Like, I've done so many different things in my lifetime that I tell people all the things that I've done, and they just look at me and like, that guy's lying to me.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, no, that's impossible. You couldn't have done all those things. And he's following right in the same footsteps. So we've done a bunch of cool things and different things, and you know, we didn't just go to school and become one trade and then, you know, that's all we ever did.
Yeah. So. And there's some people like most of you know now, like we've both worked in yachting, and instead of just watching some TV show about it, you know, with real people, real boaters, but you know, fake characters. Not to give any of the magic away, but you know, those are real boaters. Those are people that work in the industry, but they, you know, they're not really like that. They're inventing characters.
Scripted, yeah.
But maybe some people would like to hear from Captain Al and the Swab about what it really is.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're going to get into that and other things. We've done some really cool stuff.
You can imagine the thousands, and I mean thousands of hours I've spent drinking, having cigars and alcohol on the back of some man's yacht. And I mentioned in another video, but you know, you get an insight to a billionaire that nobody really else gets. He's comfortable on his own yacht in the middle of the Caribbean with his family is secure and he knows that he's in a good place, and he's been drinking all afternoon. You get the real deal. It's not a press conference. You're getting what he really feels about what's happening. And all of that knowledge I absorbed like a sponge just because of who I am. And I've been able to be open and honest and friendly enough to where people confide in me. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, my subjects, I was never like, well, tell me about the pharmaceutical business. It was never that. I was like, tell me the economics. Tell me what happened. How did you get started? How'd you build it? Where did the money come from? What were the tough hurdles that you had to get through? And what is it you like about it now? And what do you invest in now? Those have always, I just pick their brains when they're, 3 sheets to the wind. And they'll tell you anything, really. So we're going to be able to share all those stories for videos to come.
Yep.
Yeah. There's too many to recall. Yeah. So periodically they'll just pop into my head and I'll go into some spew about, some guy that, did something someday or how he did it. But it's fun.
Man, this is like our first live show, kind of.
It is.
This is going to be a really long video.
Right.
But worth it.
We started with 99 people and we're down to nobody.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
But yeah, we're talking to ourselves at this point.
The Price is Right wheel just kind of lands on zero,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Damn. We were having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
We're going to keep having fun, and we're going to keep sharing with you guys.
Yes.
We love you.
Yep.
And we thank you for your support.
And your time, because it's you're sharing time with us. That means you're taking time from something else. And we appreciate that. We know that means something to you. That's great.
I work on that in the editing room. If we get spewing about something that we don't think is important to you, it's cut out. Your time is valuable. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, or watching and listening. And I
think it went well.
Yeah, I think so. On that note,
we'll do more of these.
Yes. Yeah. We're gonna open up.
Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3. We're out.